Welcome back, friends, to Visions Veiled and Violent. Last episode, our young band of heroes returned triumphantly to the carnivalle with Moore astride her newfound friend, the giant spider Robert. Using the attention garnered by Robert, the Zarties tried to play down the bags of coins that they'd procured from the old well, and especially the unconscious body of the unknown Sudestan man. However, it didn't take long for various interested parties to intercept the young hanataz. Adewale was pulled aside separately by a foreboding grey-skinned holy man with a star-shaped scar on his forehead. Warning our barbarian friend of a person named Irazor or Gillian Vanex, among other aliases, the strange figure spoke of the wrath of the gods themselves if the Zarties were not able to help him find his person. He eventually let Adewale go, but not before placing a spell on him that would allow him to know if the barbarian found his quarry. Meanwhile, the rest of the party was accosted by the clowns Taline and Columbina as they tried to find healing for the unconscious man. My character, the handsome rogue Luthander, was able to pull Taline away from the group to compare notes about rumours that we'd heard. The rest of the party headed to the tent of Anton for healing. Unfortunately, Columbina didn't tell the group that Anton was deathly afraid of spiders, let alone giant ones, and it appears that she probably absconded with the candles he needs to heal the stranger when the elderly Bonduran Council member fainted. With a townie fight still bubbling outside the gambling tent, and Luthander's biggest fan, Smedley, producing a bloody knife, things can't possibly get any worse. Unless the strange woman tapping Nevitz on the shoulder, and who says she can smell money, proves to be a concern. With that, back to the show. We're getting in the middle of some good stuff here.
All right, so we'll start off with Luthander, since Phil seems less prepared. I'm going to get him in an honest moment.
All right. Okay, so first thing, I think this would perhaps be almost innate, that none of the hanataz are going to want to be caught holding a bloody knife at any point ever in their lives.
That's true. That is very true.
So you said he handed it to me. The question is whether I took it off him. There was an assumption there, and I'm going to say that would not be the first thing that one of us would naturally do, to take the knife. However, I'm going to ask, where did you find this, Smedley?
I found it down by the river. There was a little trail there, and the wood thing was just laying there. And I almost couldn't see it because there was a bunch of leaves and then a bunch of blood, but it was right there. So it's pretty cool. I thought you'd like to see, because I bet you've got a bunch of knives too. You've got a sword, don't you? Look at you've got a sword. That's what a hero would have.
I do have a sword. I have lots of really cool stuff.
See, and he looks at Taline like, he's totally awesome, isn't he? And she's like, hey, he is very impressive.
Wow. Right. Some would see this as something going really well. I'm not in that camp. I feel like I'm going down a vortex that I didn't know was there. Okay. So, now I know how Moore feels. Although, I'd probably take an unexpected date over visions of the undead. And did you see anything else when you... So you said there were leaves, there was some blood.
Oh, so much blood. There's blood all over the place.
But you couldn't see where the blood came from? It sounds like someone might have been hurt, Smedley.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the blood was from the dead guy.
We're 16. We can't process all this at once, Nate.
The dead guy?
Oh, yeah.
Did you recognize the dead guy?
No, definitely not.
Do you think he was from around here?
Oh, yeah. I think I've, he had those robes on, like some kind of priest or something, like one of those people.
Okay. Did, like a priest, what type of priest? Can I just say I'm not totally absorbed in this conversation, because I am trying to keep a watch for someone that might wander over and go, it's a knife, it's blood, the hanataz, I knew it. I'm looking.
They are murderers.
Yeah, we need to kill them all.
So as you people look around, it doesn't look like anyone has taken notice, because thankfully, Taylene pulled you off to a fairly discreet part of the carnivalle.
Yeah,
so,
of course, Taylene. Thanks, Taylene.
So there's nobody in the immediate area that's looking around, but Smedley seems very invested in trying to show off this super cool knife that he found.
Okay, and where did you find the body, Smedley, and the knife, both?
Oh, there's the little trail in the woods that goes down to the creek. That's it's kind of we call it the river because it sounds more cool to say it's a river than a creek, but it's where the water flows, and normally it's pretty high, but it's winter, so it's getting kind of low, and there's more muddy there, and there's that guy who was there in the leaves, and it had that super cool knife laying there. It was right there for the taking. I thought that certainly, like you, who's like a real hero, would want to know that this thing was just laying out there, and I figured like, if I get it cleaned off, like I could use it, and maybe you could teach me how to use weapons, and like you could show me how you like fought that bear, and it'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, the bear that knocked your tooth out?
Yeah, that bear. Like, it was so strong. Like, I just like woof, and I couldn't even see what happened. And then the next thing I know, the bear's gone, and you were there, and everyone was super impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty good, that moment. Okay, so I'm going to say that it's probably best, until you know how to use the knife. They can be very dangerous, and we don't want any more blood on there, do we?
What if it's bad guy blood?
Well, that's true. That's a very good point, Smedley. You're a smart kid.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to suggest... So normally we start with wooden knives. It's just easier to practice. You can relax a bit. So I'm going to suggest that I'll hold this knife for you. This could be a tactically disastrous move. I'm going to hide the knife somewhere if he's willing to give it to me for safekeeping.
Okay, yeah. No, Smedley eagerly hands over his prize to the hero, the man who saved his life. Of course, he's more than happy to do so. Do me a favor, though. Roll a wisdom save.
Oh, God.
All right,
let's do this.
Oh, God. No.
So it's not a natural one.
Okay.
It is a 3
on
the die, plus 3, 6.
6.
So I think that's probably okay, right, Nate?
Yeah. No. So I think for the sake of the story, it's great. So excellent work, Luthander.
One of those classic DC 5 checks they have us make all the time.
So as you take the knife, Luthander, you feel this strange, like, shiver run down your spine. And you blink, but your eyelids don't move. It's like something moves behind your eyes. And for the briefest of moments, you see 3 figures slinking after a man in robes who's walking down the trail over to the creek, who looks like swaying, slightly drunk, like he's had a little bit too much. And then when you blink again, once more, without moving your eyelids, that image is gone.
Okay. So I saw 3, creatures or figures?
Figures.
Could I make anything out? They just look like dark shapes sort of thing.
Well, they seemed to be human. They were dressed in nondescript brown clothing, like the kind that you'd use to, like, either for being out in the town or walking through the woods, especially on a winter day.
Okay. I'm going to wash the blood off or get rid of the blood.
Okay. How are you going to do that exactly?
Could I get maybe Taylene's tears when I tell her I've got a made-up fiance? I'm going to... Is it dry blood? Is that where you're going now? It's still wet. Okay. I'm gonna stab it into the ground and try and use the turf and the earth to get it off. Okay.
That sounds great. So you stab the knife into the ground, and as you do so, you hear this wet squelching sound and something writhing under the ground where you stabbed it.
What? Oh, no.
I'm out of my depth here, says Luthander to himself. Okay. I'll pull the knife out.
You pull the knife out. You see that the ground where you're standing writhes a little bit as some greenish purple ichor spurts out from the hole that you made.
Oh, no.
And you see the head of a centipede as long as your arm burst out from the earth.
Can I ask, rather hope, Nate, is this a dead centipede that happened to just burst out at the last moment of its life?
Miraculously, this centipede, which otherwise would be highly venomous, has somehow been killed by your expertly laid strike between its head and the rest of its plated body.
Okay.
How? Small victories.
Right.
Just take the win.
And Taline just steps back, eyes wide, like, I've never seen someone that lucky. And Smedley just perks up and says, well, of course, he's a hero. He's supposed to win.
That's right.
I want to go home.
That's right.
Oh, God, Luthander's ego. Oh, no.
Wouldn't want you to lose another tooth from being hit by another creature. And Smedley, where's your mum? Is she?
Oh, I'm
here?
sure he's probably out looking for me. We were supposed to go back in the carriage, but we just got here to the carnival, so I figured I'd I'd at least get to a couple tenths, and then if she found me, she'd yell at me later. But then I found that body and the knife, and now I definitely don't want to go home. This is way too much fun.
How do you think your mum might react if she heard that you found a?
Oh, she would totally freak out.
Do you think maybe you should just keep that to yourself?
What do you mean?
Not tell
I would
your mum?
tell everybody about the body. That's the coolest thing I've seen all day, other than the bear.
Okay, so...
Meanwhile, on the other side of the camp, we have the woman smiling down at Nevitz, who's just very dramatically makes a sniff, there's something about the smell of money that almost intoxicating. Isn't it, my little friend?
Miss Venex, was it?
Yes. Oh, and it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Nevitz.
Sorry, I don't recall giving you my name previous to this. Have you...
She just laughed. You just look like a Nevitz.
Be that as it may, unfortunately, I don't have time to sit down and have a full talk with you right now, as we're
Neither do I, which is why we're both standing. Fortuitous, don't you think?
Very, very fun play on words. But my friends and I must be departing. We have to put our money safely away, as well as take care of some business. And
where the best place to safely store your money is in an investment. And I happen to know an investment that I think would be most beneficial to both of us.
I will say there's no such thing as an investment for me personally, as I am a member of the Blue Veil Troupe. And if you would want to speak of any investments, it should be with the Bonduran Council, as they speak for the family.
Oh, of course. I mean, I would never dream to make you feel like you had to make a decision in the moment, ill-informed perhaps, where you and all of that money that you have right now might somehow end up misplaced. But I think there's nothing wrong in discussing some of the potential opportunities out there, so that when your, Bonduran Council get together, that you could perhaps mention that they might make a lot of money if they were a little bit flexible in their thinking about where would be the best place to use all that coin.
Are me and Jericho are still around? Are we watching this happen? This conversation?
Oh yeah, she's making no attempt to hide.
Okay, I'm gonna slide down off Robert and walk up and be like,
Robert crouches down to make it easier for you.
Thank you, Robert. You're always so polite. And walk over to this stranger and put my hand on Nevitt's shoulder. I'm also going to cast guidance in that moment, which will give you something. Hold on.
Plus 1d4.
Tell you what it is.
Plus 1d4 to his next roll. Yep.
And you can definitely feel Nevitz give a sigh of relief. Maybe not from the guidance, just from having you present, because I need an adult, or someone taller than me at least.
I need an adult to your adult.
Not I.
I am an adult.
I'll turn to the stranger and be like, I am so sorry to cut you off about your what I'm sure is a very prosperous business deal. You seem like a smart lady, but actually we've decided to go into charity, and this money is going to starving children. And I'm sure you would agree that that's more important than any business that any of us could think of. So if you don't mind, we'll be on our way.
Well, she perks up as you approach. Well, it's funny that you mention that, more, because it just so happens that there's a very profound theory that they have in some places, like in Prondadal, for instance, that this idea of effective altruism, that why use your money to give to some children now who will be starving again tomorrow when you could use that money to make more money in perpetuity to make sure the children never starve in the first place.
I hate how logically that sounds. I hate it.
Listen, lady, we have...
Jillian, please, we're all friends here.
Are we? Because I don't remember giving you my name.
Oh, well, my apologies. I think that your friend here just happened to mention it offhand while I was passing by.
I believe that is not a true statement. I gave neither my name nor the name of my friend.
I mean, perhaps it's because you're just the talk of the camp that I just naturally put two together that surely the most impressive people that I would meet would happen to be the Nevitz and the Moore. And of course, the Jericho, who waves over.
Jericho kind of jumps off the spider, shrugs her shoulders, like, what do you want?
You have 1 minute to give us your business proposal, and then we're going to turn around, and I'm going to pretend this conversation never happened, unless you can capture our attention.
Well, I think that is perhaps one of the most reasonable things that you've said today. And we can all be reasonable about it. I think, clearly, the future of wealth is not going to be in going through dusty tombs and finding ancient coins, because if that works, then all these morons who are scrabbling around trying to pick up the pieces of the Ethernic Empire, they would be rich. But what are they mostly? They're dead. And I would rather be rich and not dead. So the future of coin is actually in trade, the free exchange of goods and services. Because what could be more natural than, and that's when she grabs hold of Nevitz's pouch and jumps in the air to an impossible height.
Can I?
What?
And any opportunity attacks, anything?
Yeah, you could take a swing.
Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just take a swing with my quarterstaff.
Thorn Whip. Oh, do you have Thorn Whip?
I think you can only take opportunity attacks with...
Oh, yeah, with melee attack.
Yeah,
with
melee
melee,
attack.
yeah.
Yep.
This is big money, big money, big money.
Oh, great. No, now I see. Great.
That's 2 in a row.
That's nat 1 for a 7. Does that hit?
So, yeah, there's a 1 in 400 chance of rolling 2 nat 1s in a row, so congratulations.
I feel Nevitz would yell out for Adewale and just yell out, Addy! As he does a firebolt to this woman's face.
Adewale, what do you do?
Instantly, as soon as Adewale hears Nevitz cry for him, or shout for him per se, I'm not going to insinuate that Nevitz is crying. I would never.
Well, it sounded a lot like, Addy! It might have been a cry.
Adewale will look at them. Heck off. And
We can edit that in post.
and turn to look at where they were, and what does he see? Because I'm not gonna just bolt in, but what does he see off the top?
So you see this woman with platinum blonde hair who's grabbed hold of Nevitz's coin purse and is in the process of jumping about 12 feet in the air as Moore cries out and swings her staff, not even coming close to hitting the woman, but managing to whack one of the tent poles nearby pretty hard.
Okay.
And as you look at this woman,
I knew it.
You feel like someone has pressed ice cubes directly against your eyeballs.
What now,
And you hear a
purple man?
voice in the back of your mind to growl, "The unseen star sees its quarry and begins the hunt anew." Nevitz, strength roll to hold onto your coin purse.
Yep, that's definitely my best stat.
Nat 20, baby. Come on.
You know, a nat 20 would be an adjusted 19, but let's see where this goes. That's a nat 6 for a 5.
5.
Oh, boy.
He gives it up voluntarily at that point.
Two of you scrabble ineffectively for this purse. Nevitz, explain to me exactly how you're trying to prevent this woman from running off with all of your newfound wealth.
So yeah, if she tried to grab it, he would have, he's enough of a from a cut purse kind of background that he would have instinctively tried to grab at it. And if it feels like it was getting away from him, like she was actually going to be able to escape, he would have, in fact, tried to do a firebolt directly in her face to make her drop the coin.
All right, let's see if you roll that firebolt.
I'm definitely going to roll a firebolt. Let's see if I hit her.
Do it.
You have guidance.
19 on the dice. Guidance.
Guidance doesn't work on attacks. Guidance works on skill checks.
Oh.
I think that's not true.
Less works
That's
on
fine.
attacks.
That's
and
fine.
saves.
So that's an adjusted 25 to hit.
25. That is going to hit.
Right in the face.
Face. I've never
So
done
you see
firebolt
that the
before.
woman's finery catches ablaze as she tries to leap through the air, and as she lets out a yelp of surprise, dropping the coin purse in the process and scattering its contents all around Nevitz as she continues to jump straight up in the air and then arc up over the top of the tent.
Can I shout towards Robert to web over the area of all the coins?
Sure, tell Robert what to do.
Robert, the coins! Web them!
And Robert turns his bulk. Yes, Robert, web coin. What is coin?
The shiny things of the ground, Robert!
Nevis
Keep
picks
up.
Nevis picks up the coins. He picks up the purse, hoping to not get webbed by Robert.
And so there's a spider realizing what the shiny things are, trundles over to begin webbing all of these stray silver and gold pieces that have been scattered in the grass around Nevitz's feet.
Nice.
Player question for DM.
Yes,
If Alroy tries, can he talk to dude who's talking through his eyeballs?
How would you try to do that? I am curious.
Alroy, just not knowing anything about magic whatsoever, despite his situation, would just instinctively try talking to his head. Like, if I hurt this person, do I get help? Do I get something? He would just instinctively just try to talk in his head. The Thanos-like person was talking in his head. He's hoping that Thanos-like person can hear what's in his head. Devote all.
Go ahead, shout out something to this person who's been in your mind.
If I throw this, I have a javelin. I'm gonna throw it at her. If I help you get her, what do I get? And how do I get it?
You hear silence.
Okay. Anyway,
But that doesn't mean he hasn't heard
anyways.
you.
Oh,
Just means he's not an active listener.
Oh, I hate those guys. Anyways, I'm gonna throw a javelin.
Throw the javelin. I want to see this.
Okay. Javelin is a +6 to hits.
Swear to God, if you hit Nevitz, we'll never forget.
Well, it's going in this air, so nat 1.
Oh my
At one.
God.
Woo! All right. So as the woman arcs over the tent, Adewale, you with all of your might, like an Olympic thrower, just chuck that javelin. So they fly through the air, and as you,
Nowhere near. Just soars into the sky.
it arcs up and goes over the other side of the tent, and you hear this ah! on the other side.
Oh, gee.
Adam's gonna walk, hurrying his massively muscled body over to where he heard the scream and see who he hit.
All right. And so as you come over the other side, you see the familiar face of one Tevron Zis, the master of the gambling tent, the one who's known in the troupe as being the charismatic wheeler and dealer person of half-orc blood, who's been for years making sure that relations are good and keep peace with the townies, and he's now standing there looking at his left leg that has been impaled with a javelin that's now stuck in the ground, going, ah! Ah!
Adwell's gonna cover his mouth and say, shush, for a moment. Shush. I will help, maybe, if I can. And he's gonna take out rags and bundle them up and put them in his mouth. Fight hard.
And so he takes the rag and just goes, ah, and he sinks his teeth into it.
And then this is gonna hurt. I'm gonna move you and the javelin in one go. I'm gonna grab the javelin by the top, wrap the arm around the shaft of the javelin while holding the javelin, and lift them both up at the same time. And hopefully nothing too terribly bad happens to him when I do that.
That's great. Do me a favor and roll a medicine check.
Okay. So that is a nat 1.
No.
Stop. No. What is wrong with us?
We're the worst.
Wow.
I'm going to sleep after this. I'm done with today.
You should. And so Adewale, as you brace yourself, buck up, grab the javelin, and just go, and you pull it free completely of Tevron's leg, putting the other end directly into his shoulder. Thunk.
Oh no.
Well, there's no sharp end on it.
There is when you roll a nat 1.
Oh, God.
Can I run to where Adewale disappeared to go help him not kill
sure
this
can.
guy? Okay.
As Moore runs over,
And I'm going to do it again.
Wait.
as Moore runs over, and then all this chaos is going on, Jericho, you notice that near one of the tents, a familiar fiery-haired woman with bronze skin comes looking with a frantic look on her face. And you notice that Frisha Firehair was a woman who's been blood touched with draconic heritage, is looking around with an uncharacteristic look of concern, as she's always seen as kind of like more of a mischievous mother figure to the younglings, but now she has a strangely graven look on her face. And when she notices Jericho, she perks up a little bit and then makes a beeline straight towards you.
Mommy,
I greet her.
I'm scared.
Come to meet her.
What do you say, Jericho? Or what do you sign with your magic words?
My magic words. Is everything okay? You look upset.
I am upset indeed, Jericho. I was managing the tables, just like we always do. Trying to smiles and be a good hostess when I heard something quite horrible. The 2 people came through, the locals, townies, the normal folk. An older man and a woman younger than him, but not by much. People of the cloth, some priest types. And as they were doing their game, I saw a strange trio of men lingering by the tent. They seemed to be not playing any games, not involved at all in wanting to roll dice or play cards. And when the 2 priests left, I overheard one of them talking about one of these strange men in the back, the 3, talking about a knife and how they had 2 more to go. I couldn't help but feel in my bones that they're up to no good. You're one of the Zodis, right? You're one of the ones that Borag picked to watch over the carnivalle today, yes?
Yes.
Aren't there supposed to be more of you? As she looks around, just sees the spider squatting there, squirting out webbing over the ground and the coins. Nevit's trying to put them back in the coin purse.
We are never splitting the party ever again. Please continue, Nate.
We have gotten involved at a sidetrack.
Well, I know that if Borag trusts you, then it must be for a reason. And I know that you're a clever one, so be on the lookout. 3 men looking to do harm to 2 priests. Why? I don't know, but goodness, you know the rumors. If priests end up dead at the carnivalle, that would not be good for the troupe.
Did you see which direction?
Oh, I had to finish my game before I could step outside and see where they'd gone. And then Tevrin had been out as well. He was supposed to be back by now. Have you seen him? Well, if you do find him, let him know that I've been on shift all day long. I need a break, and whatever he's doing is surely not more important than making sure the tables keep running.
Yeah, I'll keep a lookout.
Thank you, Jericho. I've always felt that you were a gifted one. Believe that all the more today.
We'll see.
Meanwhile, back with Luthander.
It's going great.
What is Luthander up to?
Okay, so Luthander says to... I've forgotten her name. My days.
Taylene. Yeah, you're...
Taylene. Maylene. Jaylene.
So many. Breaking hearts all over the carnival.
Says to Taylene, Nate has just given us an image of Taylene.
Pretty sure I gave that in episode 3, but go on.
It didn't really matter until it was his girlfriend. Now it matters.
It just popped up on my screen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can do that. I'm the GM.
Well, the power of the GM has just been displayed. So I will say to Taylene, it's been interesting. Perhaps we should chat later. I need to make sure that Smedley is safe. So, and then I'll say to Smedley, we should go and look for your mother, but perhaps I need to find my friends first.
Taylene puts a hand to her chest and says, Of course, you've got to look after a kid. I mean, that is super responsible of you. Don't worry, I'll be around later. Later, like 2 hours, 3 hours. Like you're thinking, like closer to dinner after we break down the camp. I mean, I'm totally free, just so you know. Like, so just let me know whenever, and I'll be there.
I'm pretty busy the next couple of days, so I'll call you. No, so I'm pretty busy. You know, we got this mission, so let's just agree to chat later. Let's see how things are going tomorrow or in a couple of days.
Sure, yeah. Don't worry, I'll find you.
So Luthander will now hurry to. Am I able to hear the screams and fireballs and so forth? I'll assume that's where the Zatis are.
Yeah. So there's there are fireworks throughout. There's fireworks in the camp, but you definitely hear the screams.
Okay, I'm going to head towards the screams. I'll work under the assumption that it's either my friends causing the screams, or they'll be heading towards the screams.
Entirely possible. Okay, so the big question for you then is, are you going to try to cut straight across the camp through the center of it, or are you going to take the long way around to get back to the gambling tents? So one is obviously faster, but more crowded. The other one is going to take you a while, but less chance of bumping into anything.
Yeah, Luthander would take the longer way, not the higher risk way in this situation.
Okay. Do me a favor and roll me a dex save real quick.
I feel there was no way to avoid that GM trap, Phil. You did as good as you could.
That is not true, and that's hurtful, by the way, Steve.
Okay. That's 12 on the die, plus 6 is an 18.
Gotcha traps. They're
okay.
fun.
So you begin jogging around the perimeter of the camp, trying to make your way as fast as you can. And Luthander, as you go, as you're running through, making sure to avoid the crowd, to not find any more unpleasant surprises, you almost stumble as the toe of your boot kicks something that was just hidden in the grass. And when you kick it forward, you see that it's a coin purse.
I see. I will. Do I recognize the coin purse straight away? I mean,
there's
they
no
all look
distinguishable
alike.
marks on it.
Yeah,
nope,
okay,
it looks
fine.
like
I will relatively quickly examine the coin purse.
And so inside the purse, which is the simple drawstring, and inside you find from the Zyranthian Republic, the local coinage, 5 newly stamped gold coins and 17 newly stamped silvers.
Is there anyone near me?
Nope, you're on the perimeter of the camp. No one else is around.
Just got free money, dude.
All right. I'll take the coins. I'll ditch the purse. Classic move.
All right, and then as you come back around the far side of the camp, you come up to the back end of the gambling tents where you see Adewale, blood all over him, with the screaming half-orc Tevrin there, looking like as pale as a man with green skin could possibly be.
Right. And does he still have a javelin in his shoulder?
That
Has the
depends
situation
on
improved?
Adewale. Has Moore done anything to assist with this?
Yeah, have I? If I'm in here, I immediately look at Adewale, this bleeding man, and be like, okay, Adewale, maybe we give him some breathing room, take 5 steps back, yeah?
Well, there's a pointy thing in his shoulder now. It was in his leg, so I did good there, but it went bad somewhere along the way. I don't know where.
That's totally fine. Why don't I
say we just pull it right out.
I just kind of like push myself in front of Adewale and this man on the floor. Let me see if there's a more delicate way to handle this. And I want to look at the body.
Delicate as they come.
Okay.
Sure, buddy.
So it looks like the injuries to Tevrin are not life-threatening. They just hurt a whole lot.
Okay. Can I gently pull this javelin out and put pressure on the bleeding so that it stops? Tourniquet it. I don't know, all that medical stuff, fun stuff. Can I roll a medicine check?
Go with a medicine check.
Okay. This is another nat one. I'm like 16.
Not bad. Not bad.
Oh yeah. So more, you're expertly able to remove the offending broken, splintered javelin end from Tevrin without making him too much worse for wear, and you can staunch the bleeding so that he's in no immediate danger at the moment.
Okay. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then I stand up and looked at Awale. We should go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's not your fault.
I did throw it.
Yes. So it's your fault, but we can learn from this, eh?
Throw harder.
That is a lesson.
Yeah.
But I feel now that Jericho and Luthander separately have something that would probably be good for the group to know now that you're all back together.
If I recon-
Well, I think we can also add Adewale to that for hidden knowledge.
Hidden knowledge.
Luthander will convey, well, he'll pass on everything he's seen and heard since we split the party. The thing we will never do again.
I think you should do all the time. It worked out great, by the way. You learned so many things
Loved it.
simultaneously.
Do it again.
I'm fine with us not playing this out in character, but can you just imagine, like, what happens when 16-year-olds come together with this kind of cross information where everything just, like, is a
Connects.
puzzle piece to someone else's puzzle? Yeah.
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 I think after hearing all of that, Moore will turn to Luthander and be like, okay, the other stuff is cool and all, but you were on a date? Can we unpack that? How
With
did that
Taylene?
happen? Taylene.
Is this
She's
been
kinda
going on
my-
for a while?
She's my mortal enemy.
It wasn't a date. I have no interest in Taylor, but she is a gossip, and I wanted to know what she'd heard.
Oh, so you're using her. Real classy.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I
Wow.
thought better
What
of you,
a-
Luthander. Wow.
Come on, Luthander.
No. At no point did I say anything that led her on to think there was anything happening.
Did you accept the second date?
No.
So you have no plans to meet her at a future time?
Yeah.
No specific plans.
I heard a well.
Yeah, there was a well in there.
There's a well in there.
Nothing specific.
But,
We'll see her around.
but just, I guess we'll put a pin in that.
So Jericho's close to over the Harlequins. What's her reaction to all of that?
Oh.
Oh.
Jericho just shakes her head. She like snaps her finger, and like behind her there's this text. There's like, I can understand that you have love problems, buddy. You should probably let her go. But, and then like the text kind of swirls around, and then there's like these three shadowy figures, like kind of like displayed behind me. I think we need to figure out who the three mysterious strangers in our midst trying to stab people are.
Yeah.
At the trying to stab people, Luthander will discreetly pull out the knife and say, they're not trying, they're succeeding. There's a dead priest somewhere, and I assume I know where Smedley was talking about, Nate.
Yeah, you can put two and two together.
I mean, we know where the river was and things, yeah, so...
Yeah.
Yep, there's a dead priest down by the river.
Great.
That's not going to go well for us.
Jericho, did Frisia describe the other holy figure? Yes or no?
She did give him a bit of a description, right? Like just that he had raiments of a holy man.
He's older.
Are we going to talk about the fact that we should probably tell somebody that the queen is also about to be assassinated? Like, can we pawn these problems off onto somebody else? This seems like a lot.
Nevit's brother.
Yes, Eddie.
Who was that woman?
Oh, that woman was some charlatan trying to steal our money. Her name was something Vanix. Did you get the name more? Jillian. Jillian Vanix.
You say Jillian, and his Adewale's voice gets deeper, more serious than it's probably any of you have ever heard it ever before. Did you say Jillian?
Nevis looks to both Moore and Jericho. I believe it was Jillian Vanix or Vanix.
Yeah, that's right.
No good. No good. Nope. No good.
Have you heard the name before?
Nope. No, I don't.
Eddie, if you know something, at this point, it seems fate is giving us different pieces that we must put together.
I want to like snap my fingers again, and like that symbol that was on that dude's head like appears behind me. I'm like,
Yes, I was Thank you, Jericho, for leading me forward. I was getting angry. I was confronted by a purple-skinned man, said a series of whatevers, and said that one of us was going to die, and I said, I choose you, and he didn't like that. Moving on. He told me a series of names, and one of them happened to be Jillian, and also described Jillian as a world ender per se, or somewhere along the lines. Something her name had something to do with the end of the world.
Why is everything always trying to end the
Also,
world?
cult. He's part of a cult. Interesting fact I picked up along my travels. The Unseen One. He follows that radical group of idiots.
I point over my shoulder at the symbol in the air. Over there. Like,
Thank you, Jericho.
So as Jericho points to the symbol takes on its own glow, radiating a more intense light than you've ever seen from one of Jericho's little prestidigitations. And it rotates there for a moment, burning like a miniature sun. Its glow actually causing Jericho's fingers to briefly illuminate before it winks out of existence.
Does Jericho look surprised when this happens?
I'm pretty surprised. My magic doesn't do that.
Okay, so we're aware that this was not Jericho's doing.
Like, little text appears above my head. Not me.
We have a lot of small things to do, but I think the most immediate thing is for us to take this money, get to Borog or someone else in the Bonduran Council, and find out what we should do with the disparate things that are happening to us. There's a murder afoot. There's someone who might be a world ender, but seems more like someone who's just trying to steal our money. But we need to get beyond that. Oh, to say nothing of the fact that there's an unconscious noble in Anton's tent.
Okay, but can we go to sleep after this? This has been a long day, and it's only been like a couple hours.
More, it's 2 bells at latest. So I agree. I'm also exhausted. But for right now, I think we need to get to the Bonduran.
I vote Borag. Closest with him.
Yeah, I mean, are we opposed to making our way back to the wrestling ring, since we know that that's where Borog will be?
I'm
That's
in.
reasonable.
Yep.
I think.
I want an adult.
Well, if we know that if there's a dead priest somewhere,
Yeah.
that could be not good for everyone. So we probably want a few more people there.
And we wish to make our way over to Borag.
All right. And so as the 5 of you make your way over to the wrestling tent where you'd last seen Borag, you see that on the edge of the tent, his wife, Kalnase, is standing there watching him as Borag takes on 5 of the locals in the middle of a contest, big scrum style, fighting them one after another as they keep up and coming, while some other hanataz circle around the crowd, taking bets as the townies cheer on for the locals to pin your champion. And as all that goes on, you see a familiar man with scar on his face and distinctive red pupils standing near the tent, just near the wrestling pit, just off the side, watching this all with a sort of a casual air. And you notice him as another member of the Bondurans, Cray the Blade. Cray looks over to you and he gives a respectful nod from one of the adults to the Zodis for your special mission today. A nod of respect and then a little head tilt, an eyebrow just slightly raised, almost as if be questioning if there's some business you have.
Yes. Nevitz will immediately go up to Cray, and Cray, we have some gains that we have acquired for the party. We believe stolen from criminal elements, and we need to put them in a place that's secure. But besides that, we have much that we need the counsel of yourself and Vrendra Kalese and Borog. There's many things going on, and we think that the council needs to be aware of it.
Cray just looks to you and he gives another nod, says nothing.
Is that normal for Cray?
Yeah, Cray doesn't talk.
Okay. Presumably Nevitz knew that, even if Stephen didn't. Is he willing to lead us towards his tent, or is he making any motion to move?
He makes a little notion to keep talking.
We followed the bear into the woods, in which we found a site of murder, and a treasure map led us down into an old well where we discovered bags of gold and silver. But besides that, while we were down there, we were also... And Nevitz is kind of looking around to make sure no one can overhear this, besides the party. While we were down there, there was some foul goings-on, and various magics were cast upon us where we heard threats against our queen, which, as far as we know, may well refer to Mother Sylvenza, given that rumors, at least, indicate that other seeresses have died in other troops.
You see him, he squints and his brow furrows and his lips go thin, but he gives another stoic nod of understanding the seriousness of what you're saying.
More to the point, Jericho heard from Miss Freesia that there was perhaps some murder plot about for 2 holy figures, one of which Luthander discovered has already been killed down by the creek, the other of which we know not, but we do suspect that a murder is about, and in the midst of hanataz, obviously, the local authorities will look to us first.
He nods once more.
I mean, honestly, just saying that aloud, not only Nevitz, but Steven just has a sigh of relief, like, okay, an adult now. And then I think Nevitz just looks to the group, like, is he missing anything? Like, at this point, he's just a bit rattled.
Adewale will step up and kind of lower his voice as much as possible and say, I ran into a follower of the Unseen One as we came back to the carnivalle and mentioned a woman who, by lack of better terms, is connected to the end of the world, as he said it. I then saw that this very same woman tried to rob Nevitz, failed with a fireball in the face, which was pretty freaking rad, brother. And then a lot happened after that, which is inconsequential. Doesn't really matter. But there is a cult near our carnival as well.
So, Elder Cray, I forgot to mention there is an unconscious nobleman from Sudestra inside of Anton's.
Luthander will show him the knife.
We've got nothing but bad news.
I accidentally went on a date. So
that was the tragedy.
Yeah. I'll discreetly show him the knife, and I will say the noblewoman's son found pre-sighted, telling everybody.
It's concerning.
This is the knife, I believe, that was used, and I'll discreetly show it to him in case he recognizes.
Also, just a heads up, there's also a really bad, powerful necromancer on the loose who's also tied to all of this. You might have heard of him. His name is...
Verder.
Thank you, that one, yep.
Vordred.
Yep.
And we need a place to put a 10-foot spike.
His
name is Robert.
Each of you, in turn, taking your measure, seriousness of the situation. He gives a stoic nod, and then he looks over and he gives a snap, and he waves for Kalnase to come over. And she walks over with this large, athletic, orcish woman, looks over with a bit of a confused look on her face. And then Cray leans over and you just see his lips barely moving as he whispers something in her ear. And her eyes go wide. Oh, it's above. Children, excellent work. You have the treasure on you that this person tried to steal?
Yes, Vrendra.
If you may, let us go. I can take this to the council wagon, make sure that's at least under lock and key. Cray does have a way of securing things that would make it at least difficult for someone to run off with them, like that scoundrel.
Of course. We'll follow immediately, or we'll hand over the gold. Whatever she was intonating, we do.
Yeah, she'll
we
take
do what
it.
she says. Yay,
You're
adults.
offering, she'll take it. Yeah. She takes the coins. As this is a sizable sum. I see that your new friend definitely has earned a place in the animal pens where we can find some way to properly take care of him in the future. Once Borag is done with the show, we'll convene with Salvenza, make sure that as soon as we break down tonight, we are as gone can be from this place. Clearly this could be a very bad winter for us if we are not careful. Thank you for your vigilance. I and all of us owe you a debt.
Can I don't know, can we end our shift early? We've been through a lot.
I'm okay.
So she looks sympathetically and says, I understand you have done more than we could have ever asked. Unfortunately, the only other Frenta that we have available are Taline and Columbina and Zani, and you've earned your rest. Stay on for 2 more bells, and I will make sure that you are done early and get whatever you require. I swear this on my honor as a Bonduran.
Alcohol?
She tilts her head slightly, like, oh, you've more than proven yourselves to be adults today. Your maturity far outstrips that of your peers. Please, if anyone asks, tell them Kalnase said you can drink whatever you wish until the sun goes down.
Thank you,
I'm trusting you with this. I'm trusting you because you've proven yourselves. Please, do not abuse that.
I will be responsible.
You can trust us.
Cray and I will go to secure these goods. Please, if you find any hints of these brigands about, or other trouble, solve as you can. Let us know if you need. And Cray and I will be here. Brayon is somewhere in the area. He can also be relied upon. And once Borag is done with the show, I'll make sure that he knows all this as well.
Friend of Kalnase, we will go out and Moore is right. We are tired, but we are not yet exhausted. We will continue to keep guard. But please just promise us you will look in on Mother Sylvenza. The warnings we received while we were down in the crypt were frightening. And given some of the rumors, I just want to make sure that Osiris is safe.
Certainly, we will make sure that she doesn't leave the fortune teller tent unless she is under guard. After all, it would be a grave tragedy to lose the only person in the troop who's manifested the power of the site. Without that, the future of the troop could be lost.
I don't like this foreshadowing, so can I make like a trust check to see if I trust what these people are saying?
That's where I was going as well. I was thinking exactly the same thing.
So, free of charge, Kalnase and Cray are both fully above board. They are designed to be the helping backstop characters. They want the best for you.
Doppelganger, somebody's wearing their skin. Like, I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up.
They're not doppelgangers. Well, I'll give you that one for free.
All right.
Another question, DM question. Did Luthander give Cray the knife, or did he just show it?
Showed it him.
Nice.
In character now, Luthander, buddy or pal, recommend you do not hold on to a murder weapon while we're walking around.
They haven't invented blue light things yet, so they can't find the blood on it. I think ultraviolet,
I believe our very next goal should be to find this potential murderer, and perhaps you being able to show that knife in front of them might trip them up.
We have to do that now.
So
Fair enough.
In all seriousness, I agree that is not great. However, I assume we can gather in, so I could speak a little bit privately and say, when I touch this knife...
If you have nothing more for Kalnase and Cray, yes. they'll go to secure the treasure that you found.
Yeah, this is teen business. We don't need them right now.
The adults depart, leaving you to scheme.
They take all of our money and leave. Okay.
It's a Scooby-Doo
group's
territory.
Money. You made that clear.
I did.
So, and I assume there was no response to the knife. Nate was like, "It's a knife."
Oh yeah, it's clearly a weapon, but there's nothing.
Yeah, but they weren't like, the knife.
Right,
okay,
they're
great.
like, oh no, it's a special knife. Like, no, it's a knife.
It's the knife of doom or something. Great. So
that would be funny though.
No, it wouldn't.
Define funny.
Keep going.
So I'll show the knife again to the group, and I will say I held this knife. When I held this knife, I'll explain that sort of weird eye vision thing in which I saw the three hunting the priest. This isn't a great thing to be conveying, given what we've heard about males and the site, of course. But
do you feel it was a vision in the sense that Mother Sylvenza has, or was this maybe something else? Nevitt says, hopefully.
I don't know. It was a strange vision, but I don't know if it was the site. But I thought that perhaps we could examine this knife, see if it's magical in some way.
Nevitt will reach out and touch the blade and see if he gets anything, or if it's a one-off.
Okay. So Nevitt, as you reach out and touch the blade, just as your fingers touch upon it, you hear this shout from across the side of the carnivalle, where it looks like the two figures clad in armor are trying to push someone out of one of the stalls and dismantle it, as a third figure, a woman in armor with a long white tabard, with her hands on her hips, is shouting at the crowd for something.
Nevitt will cease reaching for the blade and look to the party. I assume we should go that way.
Does it look like it'll take 10 minutes from where we are to there?
I mean, no, it's like more like 2 minutes. What do you have in mind there, Moore?
I want to ritual cast detect magic.
Okay, you can stay here and do that, or you can go with the rest of the group to check out this thing.
Do not.
I'll be right behind you guys. I think it's really important we know what this knife is. So Hand it over. I'll detect it, and I'll be right behind you.
Okay, so Moore stands behind and begins focusing the Xyanthus so that she can detect magic on this item, while the four of you go to do what exactly, Nevitz?
Nevitz is going to make a beeline for the noise. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do for the Bonduran Council. We're supposed to maintain the peace, find out where disruptions occur.
Okay. And as you approach, let's see. Adewale, give me a religion check.
I like those. Fair off. Oh, that's so much better. A dirty 20.
Ooh, okay.
There we
So
go.
as you see that the tabard that the woman in armor is wearing has this closed helm symbol on it. That is the holy symbol of the god Wardane, also known as the Lord Protector and the god of knights, cavaliers, and guardians. And as you approach, you see that the woman is shouting to the crowd, "Do not be swayed by this debauchery. Do not be fooled by their candies or their games or their unnaturally sinuous dances. This carnivalle is an abomination that is only here to blight the town of Nevermore, and in my capacity as the protector, I will ensure that these people are evicted long before dark tide falls to ensure that no ill befalls our town." What does Jericho think of this, by the way?
She's pretty dang skeptical.
How skeptical?
Like, what's this lady gonna do? I'm gonna kind of like walk up to her and start mimicking her voice, but like
Okay.
recombine the words so that she sounds really stupid. Like, you know the bit from the Scooby-Doo movie where they're like, "We think, Dimsdale sucks." Like, it's like that. I want to recombine her words so that it sounds like she's saying dumb stuff.
Please do. Give it your best.
Is this like I think this could be like a vicious mockery moment even, honestly.
This could be a vicious mockery. Give me a performance check first.
Okay. That is a nat 1.
Oh,
Perfect. All right, tell me what you tell her. Tell me what you tell the woman in the Tabard of Wardane.
Okay. Like how I'm using her, like,
Yeah, how are you using her
words.
voice?
Sinuous
amusement are you giving the crowd?
dances. More like cool dances. Yeah, like I'm just like recombining her like words to say that.
you tell him.
Sounds like a text-to-speech bot, but like
Autocorrect just messed it all up.
And so as the woman turns to Jericho, hands still on her hips, looking quite sour about this whole business. And she opens her mouth like she's just about to launch into a sermon when you see this look on her face of shock, utter shock. And that's because, unbeknownst to Jericho, but patently obvious to all four of her friends around her, Jericho has begun to emanate light from a very bright, flaring halo over her head.
Oh.
And as the halo winks out of existence, and when Jericho ends her performance, you see the Justiciar raise her mailed finger towards the five of you and say, "Blasphemy! Eradicate them!" As the other two knights turn and put their hands on their weapons. And that's where we'll end for today.
man.
How much time do I have left on ritual casting this night?
Let's call it 8 minutes.
Cool. You guys got this. Don't worry.
This is going great.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? Honestly, I feel safer in combat than I do with any of this role play. So let's just do combat. Yeah.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on Visions Veiled and Violent, a D&D actual play of Gooey Cube's Darkest Dream adventure from the Red Star Rising campaign. Check out their amazing content at gooeycube.com. Also, a special thank you to Tabletop Audio for providing the fantastic music that accompanied this episode. As ever, please like, rate and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts, and, if you can, help us out at Patreon by supporting us at the $3 tier. We hope to continue to share our collective storytelling with the community, and that's all made possible by your support, so please tell your friends. Heck, tell your enemies if they like fantasy roleplay. Remember, you don't know the burden others have carried to arrive at your gaming table, so be kind. Safe travels until next week when we return to Visions Veiled and Violent.